How's everyone doing tonight? This might be one of the shortest episodes. I don't have a lot of time, so we're not even going to spin the wheel. We're just going to pick this deck, and that's what we're doing tonight. This good old-fashioned fun deck. Elio Gordon. Is that names? Elio Gordon and Tony Lacey? I don't know who those are. I thought it was going to be a company. Those sound like authors. 50 activities, games, and tricks for kids and adults. I picked this up at a garage sale for $1. I'm not sure what year it came out. I have to look into that. It says 2010 here. I don't know how accurate that is. From the book, The Really Useful Grandparents Book by Elio Gordon and Tony Lacey. I guess someone took this book and converted it into a card deck. There's little tabs in it. I don't know if those tabs go all the way through. Let's just pull this stuff out and see what we're dealing with here. Alright, it's a nice little box. It's like got 2 layers, some cardboard and stuff. Alright, introduction. If you picked up this deck, you've probably already sat through terrible cartoons in dingy movie theaters, and you've persuaded yourself that it's fun being at a swimming pool first thing on a Saturday morning. In our lives, littered with smartphones, video games, computers, and TV, there seems to be limited space for card games, magic tricks, art projects, and water balloon fights. We all seem to remember the long, wonderful afternoons of childhood spent exploring the backyard, but are unsure where those golden afternoons have gone. This deck will help you recapture some of that lost time. Those lovely childhood afternoons are still there. You just have to know where to find them. Okay, so this isn't a 1950s card deck. This is sort of a recreation. They just grab this old art style to make it more fun, but it's actually recreated in the modern times. Okay. So, you also need some art supplies and a deck of cards, snacks. So, I don't know. Using this deck. All right. The cards in this deck are divided into 4 sections. Magic and tricks, games, outdoor adventures, indoor fun. This collection project and game is great for a range of ages, but keep in mind that younger kids will need the help of grown-up adults. Grab a handful of cards before you go on an outing. Then keep a few in the car or some in your bag for quick inspiration. While this deck is chock full of ideas, there will be times when you'll want to do bigger field trips. Here are a few suggested ideas. Reading time. Most local libraries and bookshops have reading times that welcome anyone, no matter how young the child. Most libraries and bookstores post these events on their website. Playgroups. The PTA, church, fellowship, playgrounds are all good places to look for playgroups, and you can usually find one by asking around. Playgrounds. In most towns, dismal playgrounds are a thing of the past. Most now have wood chippings or rubberized surface, making them much safer, and the equipment is modern and colorful. Are playgrounds better nowadays or the old days? I don't know how it works in every country. I know in America you've got to drive to the playground. I don't know every country, but I know at least in Russia they'll have a building, a tall building here, a tall building here, 2 more tall buildings here, 2 more tall buildings here. So there'll be 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 6, 8, whatever buildings. And then in the middle will be a playground. So those 8 kids can go to that playground. But if you walk off, quarter mile in this direction or quarter mile in this direction, you'll find another playground. That's probably very similar for another group of kids. And everyone will know those local hangout spots or whatever. Anyway, this is actually sounding like this could be 50 shows. I don't think I can really go through any of these cards. It would be a very long show if I did 3 of them. So I think what I'm really going to do is just kind of flip through. I don't even know if I'm going to read them all. So I'm definitely not going to do any of them tonight. Card tricks. So is this one of the tricks, or is this still instructions? Hints and tips. From close-up sleight of hand to full-blown stage illusion, magic is now part of the mainstream culture. Card tricks make a good starting point. All right, so that's hints and tips. Pick a card, any card. Okay, let's see. What do you need? Get a friend to pick a random card from the pack. Look at it, remember it, and then put it back on top of the pack. Then ask her to cut the pack a few times to mix the cards up. You then look through the pack and use your magic skills to find the card she picked. This is a very basic trick, but it's a good one. Try to perfect it. A deck of 52 cards, a gullible friend. And then I've got a little fake drawing of a queen of clubs there. What's on the back? How it's done. Okay, so you're going to learn a magic trick here. The pack is shuffled in front of your friend, but after you have done this, you take a sneaky look at the top card. Let's say the top card in this instance is the queen of clubs. You spread the pack in front of your friend and ask them to pick a card, any card. The deck is then put on the table and you ask your friend to place the card he has picked on top of the deck. Then ask him to cut the pack a few times so that he no longer knows whereabouts of the card. Pick up the deck and look through to find the queen of clubs. The one above this will be his card. With any luck, he'll be very impressed. How do we do it? The pack is shuffled in front of your friend, but after you have done this, you take a sneaky look at the top card. Then say, the top card in this instance is the queen of clubs. You spread out the pack in front of your friend, ask them to pick any card. The deck is then put on the table, and you ask your friend to place your card he has picked on top of the deck. Then ask them to cut. Okay, all right, let's try this one. Let me get a deck of cards. All right, so I'm going to be right back with a deck of cards. Alright, I was trying to find real quick a pack of electromagnet cards. I should always keep one on the desk. Let me find one.
Basically, found stuff that belongs to you.
Okay, can you hold on a second? I'll just look at it. Yeah, because I'm in the middle of the stream. I'll look at it in a minute.
Oh, you streaming?
I mean, obviously, yeah. I'll look in a minute. Oh, yeah, because I didn't do all the setup. I should mention, because I'm doing a quick show today, I didn't do all the setup today, so it looks like I'm not even streaming. I don't have the green screen, so you're not going to see that camera. I don't have the diffuser. Yeah, I'm going to be very quick tonight.
Just
and then I will look through. Yeah, I will look through it. All right, so let's try to simulate this card deck, this card trick. So they want us. Oh, okay. So if we know, so we know this is the ace of diamonds. So then we pick up we ask the person to pick a card. So they pick a card. And then we ask them to put it back. All right. I don't know what this card is. So I'm going to look away from the monitor, but I'm going to show it to you. All right. I'm looking away. You can hopefully see what that card is. Hopefully it's on screen. All right. Now I'm looking back. All right. So the person's going to put the card here. And I'm going to ask them to cut the deck a few times. So they're going to cut the deck a few times. All right, and then I'm going to pick up the cards. And then I'm going to shuffle it a few times. And then I'm going to try to find the person's card. So, was this the card? Like Meteor Strike? Because it was above the ace of diamonds. All right, let me see if I could quickly jump to the monitor. Rewind that a little bit and see. All right, on the monitor, I'm already picking it up. So I got to find when I look away. All right, 9 of hearts. So that trick was a bust. All right, so where was the 9 of hearts? There's the 9 of hearts. It's nowhere near the ace of diamonds. Ace of diamonds was the card we were supposed to be looking for? Um, well, that trick was a fail. Anyway, this card deck is from Electromagnet, which was a board game I did, and the deck was part of the board game, but you also can get this just as a separate card deck. And there also was based on the 2016 graphic novel, which was based on the series that started in 2013 called Electromagnet. It's just a comic book series that I did. All right. All right, let's look at more cards here. So that was one from the magic section. All right, let's. That's enough from the magic section. All right, outdoor adventure. Outdoor adventure, spring nature walk. Spring is a great time for nature walks. Parks, gardens, and countryside have begun to wake up. Birds are singing. You need basic wildlife identification guide, sturdy walking shoes, snacks for you, not the birds, notebook and pencil to record sketches. So we've done a lot of hiking in my family. We usually bring like water bottles and shoes and clothes. The sketching sounds good. We never took the wildlife identification guide. Maybe phones have replaced that, but maybe we should. All right, so let's get in here. Okay, water fun on snow. Winter fun with ice and snow. Short cold days and long dark nights can make winter seem very dull and dreary for children, but there's a lot to look forward to together in winter, such as holidays, and depending on where you live, the prospect of snow. What does it say? So take a walk in the snow? Is that all we need to do here? Is there anything on the back? Okay, there's a lot on the back. How it's done. Provided it's not too wet and cold, boisterous children can be sent outside to burn off excess energy. With winter scavenger hunts in the park or garden, treasured hunts, or just another game of football, you may also want to be on the lookout for materials to use in holiday decorations such as twigs, pine cones, ferns. Think about organizing a walk specifically as a fir cone and twig hunt, as these will be very useful over the next few weeks. Gather as many different sizes as you can from tiny to large. If winter has really arrived and it's icy, let the children break the ice on bird baths and puzzles. They'll love smashing it to bits. Show them any long icicles that might have garnered on the edge of the gutters and get them to dress up for a frosty walk. If it's snowy, they will be in their element, apart from rushing around making snow, and snow angels get the children to look up at the garden as they get up. What's been going on in the night you can see with any animal tracks. Okay, this sounds like, okay, they made it more interesting on the last sentence with the animal tracks, like you're going to learn some nature, but they've got their rabbit, deer, cat, squirrel, but really, this seems like very basic. Like I feel like you could write that. Like someone could just, like, what are some of these other? Make a children's garden. Okay, that's a little more advanced. It basically said, like, walk around in the snow and pick up twigs. Pressed leaves, yeah. Making twig boats. Yeah, these are the kind of things that my mom would give us to do when we were kids. So I didn't realize this was some parent's guide to keep your kids busy. Somehow I thought my mom was thinking up all these things. Maybe she was. Maybe my mom wrote this card deck. Make things with shells. Create a seashore mobile. Oh, we never did that one. So you can see there a mobile. What are those dead fishes? All right, let's just look at this one. This is another easy project to work on if you're near a beach. Driftwood, shells with holes, paint or varnish, string, 6 small ice screws or nails, coat hanger, florist wire, pliers. So are these lures or are these dead fish? Let's just see. Find a light piece of driftwood that has a pretty shape. This could be a flat piece of wood, more interesting. All right, select the range of collected and cleaned shells. Attach 4 to 6 pieces of string. Finally attached piece of metal coat hanger, wire. Okay. I kind of skimmed that, but it didn't say anything about those fish-looking objects. All right. We've made it to the games section. Easy outdoor games. Kick the can. This popular game is like hide and seek or tag and appeals to all ages. Any number of children can play. You need an area in a garden or park with a lawn, trees, and bushes to hide behind. 4 or more children, a bucket or box, a park or yard with a large lawn, preferably with bushes and trees. All right, what are the instructions for kick the can? 1 person is it, and before the game begins, a can or bucket or box is placed in an area roughly 20 by 20 yards. Nearby is the jail area. Everyone except it goes and hides somewhere, and it counts up to 30 or so. At this point, it has to go and find the other children and actually tap them. Then they are sent to jail and must wait there until an uncaptured child runs up to the can and kicks it away before being caught. The kicking of the can releases all the captives of children. They can rush the captive children and they can rush off and hide again. If it catches everyone, he is the winner and is the new it. It is chosen for the next game. You can vary the rules a little. If the children are younger or older than average and make the kicking process harder or easier. For instance, you can make it harder by telling it to touch the can with his hand before running after a person who is hiding it. All right, so this is Manhunt. That's what we called it, which is funny because I remember I used to, in old TV shows, would hear this kick the can, and I never knew what the instructions were. So you literally just put a bucket and you let people out of jail by kicking the bucket over. I didn't realize that. Okay, so they also have an expression like kick the can down the road, and that apparently means like get a new loan before you pay off the old one. I don't know why they call that kick the can down the road, but it's very confusing because this kick the can sounds like a decent game, like maybe that should still exist. And it does exist. We called it Manhunt. There was no bucket. You just freed everyone from jail by making it to the base without the hunter catching you. It also, there were additional hunters that got like deputized. I don't know how that happened. I don't remember at this point. Maybe it was just everyone was hunting to. I think there were different variations. One, everyone who was caught became a hunter, and in another one they went to jail. So maybe we had a different name than Manhunt when they went to jail. Maybe it was like the Manhunt jail variation. But maybe it had its own name. We did play literally a kick the can when I was a kid, and it was... do you remember those, like... They still have them in some delis, but when I was a kid, they were like... They look like a plastic barrel, and you could get them at a deli for 25 cents. They're kind of small, but at the time we were playing this in 3rd and 4th grade, I guess we were small, and a person stomped on that can, and the 2 sides would fold up, and it would become on the bottom. It was like kind of like bowl shaped. So it's a plastic thing. You've stomped on it, and the edges have turned up, and now it's like bowl shaped, and you could kick it, and we would like kick it on the street, and like a driveway on one side of the street would be a goal, and a driveway on the other side of the street would be a goal, and it basically would be how we played soccer. This was during recess at school when we didn't have a soccer ball. And how we played football during recess at school without a football, someone folded up their gloves, and like they put them together, they rolled them up, and they like tucked them in, and that was a football. When my kids went to the same school, they actually used to set up basketball hoops, and they would play basketball. So, like, the school that we went to, they would win, like, the basketball championship most years because every kid was playing basketball, every gym, and every lunch period, like, all year long. But that's not how it went when I was a kid. When I was a kid, it was very boring. All right. We're up to the last section here, and it's called Indoor Fun. Crafts and collections. Well, it's called Indoor Fun, but it's broken down into crafts and collections and simple science. So I guess we'll do one in each. All right, music box. Music is a special way to have fun together. Both small and older children love singing and making music. You need no previous knowledge or experience of music to enjoy simple music making. Yeah, I've seen that. I'm not going to read this whole deck. I'm sure it has some great tips. I'm just going to mention that I remember some moment in college when some guys were like sitting on, it's like we went to the cafeteria at the beginning of lunch, and it was like two guys were like sitting on a desk tapping their legs. And then when we came back, the two guys there was now like 12 guys, and some of them were kicking, some of them were tapping, some of them were scraping, some of them were yelling. Basically, they had created a beat, and it was a very detailed beat by that point, and they just kept going like over and over and adding to the beat and making it into like a song. And I've heard that those are called drum circles, like it's around a campfire thing people might do. Everyone just keeps adding to the beat until it gets more and more complex. Obviously, the most complex beat is going to be done by one person, because they can like a drum solo or a jazz drums. It's like you can't do that with multiple people. But a drum circle is like a different thing. It's like a longer, textured beat with everyone participating. Try it one time. It's you might find it fun. All right, let's try a simple science. Colorful carnations. Plants need water to live. They suck it up from the ground through their roots, up their stems, and into their leaves. Here are some easy and fun experiments with plants and water. How many days is this going to take? I mean, we're going to do like 4 white carnations, 3 tall glasses, some red, white, and blue food coloring. How long is it going to take to ingest this food coloring? All right, how it's done. Put some drops of food coloring into 3 glasses, 1 per glass. Place a carnation in each and fill it up with water. Take the 4th carnation and carefully slit most of the stem in 2. Then put each half in a different glass so that each half is in a different colored water. In a day or so this is going to take multiple days, you will see how the colored water has reached all parts of the plant and even turned the flowers into another color. The 4th carnation will have absorbed color from both glasses, and now it can't decide which color it wants to be. So this is the 4th one. It's in 2 different glasses, and it can't decide which color it wants to be. Celery suction. I did that one. I remember doing celery. I think it was a school project when I was a kid. Alternatively, if you don't have carnations, you can do a similar experiment with celery. Put some water in a glass and add some blue or red food coloring. Leave for a day, then take a look. The celery will have sucked up the water and taken up the color. Notice how far up the plant the water has gone. Cut across the celery stalk to see the fibers. We actually did that with celery, not as an experiment, but if the celery would start to like wilt, you could put it in a glass of water and it'll become like firm again. So you can just put the water back in a celery. Like celery that you buy at the supermarket, it's like the physical properties still work. I'm not saying it's still alive, but the like cellular automata is still doing its thing, and you put it in water. A wilted celery put in water will become unwilted. Try that. That's a little experiment for you. All right, so I said it was going to be a short show tonight. 24 minutes we just passed, so that makes it one of the shortest ever. If I edit out the first 40 seconds, which 20 to 40 seconds, which I often do because it's dead air, this might end up somewhere in the 23 minutes, but that's it. I'm in the middle of work. I got a lot of stuff I need to do. Just took a 20-minute break to be with you. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to go. Tomorrow will be a longer show. We'll have more fun. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.